Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Shupratim and I want to discuss about this tool that I've been working on for quite some time. That is called Helpful Tool version 2. There was a version 1 which I built long time back, but I did not use that much. This version, by the way, I have been using quite a lot actually. Now, what is this tool? This tool is actually a set of development tools. You can think of dev utils if you want. But these tools run as a Python process in local system, and you can just clone this project and run it yourself. It does not need much, only Python 3 is enough. It creates its own virtual environment. I'll show it momentarily. So you do not need to install, or you do not need to download any package or whatever. Let's see the project. So this is a Python project, and it can be run on Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever have you, using this tool, using this script file quickstart.sh or quickstart PowerShell, whatever you want to use, or which environment, which platform. All the backend code are there in the source folder, and all the front-end code is in this front-end folder. All the other necessary stuffs are there just to make a package out of this project, and it just runs on its own. Let me show you like how to start or stop this project. Let's see if it is already running. I am on a Linux machine, by the way, so I will be using the script file. Okay, status. So it is already running. Let's stop that, and I'll start this on a different port. Let's use this. So if you make a mistake or whatever, then it will show the correct way of using this tool. Right now it is available on 8056. Let's go there. So this is the tool, by the way. Let's go to the other port. Alright, so as you can see, it presents a dashboard with all these different cards. All these different cards are actually different tools. So JSON tool, basically you can do JSON stuff. Similarly, YAML conversion, there's a different text difference tool. So think of Beyond Compare if you have used, but you don't need to install anything. It is everything done on the on this web page in the browser. Basically, there's a regex tool to validate regex pattern, cron. There's scientific calculator, and I'll show every tool briefly. So let's open this JSON tool. So this is the common design aspect of this tool. So all the tools that are there will follow almost the same design language. So there will be an input box and an output box, and you can paste your JSON document or whatever input you are working with, and the output will be generated here. So let's just use a JSON document. I can upload a file from here, or I can take it from a source. Now what is the source? I'll come in a moment. So let's just upload a file. So I will just use this file. This is a random JSON document. So as you can see, it is already formatted. It was already formatted though. So there are markups. You can remove them or you can have them, and you can expand, collapse, just the way you can do in other tools. You can minify, stringify, whatever you want, and you can copy this output from here, right? And whatever you are doing, right, all these are saved in a history. So you can see that this is the data we just used, and it is available as a history. And there is a global history and a local history. Local history is for the tool specific, whatever data you are using, and the global history I'll show in a moment. So this is in a nutshell JSON tool. I'll come back to this tool when I'll discuss about the source, right? So let's go to the other tools. Let's open the YAML tool. It looks exactly the same, right? So that is intentional actually. So I talked about the local history and the global history. So whatever data you are using in a specific tool, that is its local history. I did not use any data in this YAML tool, so there is no history here. But if I click on this global history button, it will show that yeah, I have used some data in JSON tool, and that is what it is here. I can click on it, and that data will be pasted from the history to this input box. And these tools actually can be used to convert JSON to YAML and YAML to JSON transparently actually. So I can click format it. It will convert this document into YAML, and it will format it. And of course there's markups here, so you can expand, collapse, whatever you want. Similarly, you can also use this tool with source. So I'll come to that. Let's go to the other tools. This is a conversion tool, similar, but you can do JSON, YAML, and XML. Let's see that in action. So this is JSON. It's saying it's a JSON document, and then you can click YAML or XML. In future, I'll be combining all these three tools together to create a uniform tool, because it does not make sense to have these three tools separate. Alright, these are the three tools. This JSON tool I use every other day because I use JSON a lot in my work. Before I move to other tools, I want to show the source tool. What is a source? Now here is a source. So what this tool is there for, to create different sources of data. A source can be an HTTP resource. It can be an S3 bucket. For now, only S3 are provided, supported. Sorry. In future, I'll be adding Google Cloud Storage and Azure also. But for now, only S3 is supported, or it can be a local file. So these are the three types of source are supported. How to create a source? Let's see that, or I can show the existing sources which are already configured. So we can select a source type here, HTTP URL or S3 or local file, and I have to give the URL or the location where some data is coming from, right? Now I'm using JSON placeholder here because this link gives me a sample dummy JSON data, right? That is what I'm using. And for the other sources like S3 bucket or local file, let's see that. So for S3 bucket, I have to give the location or the S3 URI. I have to select a profile, because that is, by using this profile, it knows which key to look from the AWS credential file in my local, right? And I can specify how deep I can go inside this source. like 5 level deep, 4 level deep. This can be configured to be a much larger depth, but for now I have added like 5 level deep. Right, and this is actually we can add dynamic paths, like I can specify dollar sub path, right? And what it will do, if I click this button, it is saying what is the value for the sub path, right? I can specify some value here, and at runtime I can change this path and the source will be showing different data. I'll demonstrate that in a minute, but let's create a duplicate of it and we can see it in action. So let's create a duplicate. So this is just my bucket. This is my bucket, by the way, and this is another bucket. So I know what is a nested folder inside my bucket. I'll just name it like folders, right? And okay, so I'll keep it just like this and we'll change it dynamically at runtime. So I name it dynamic, save. Okay, I have to give a dummy value. Okay, let's name it nested, just because I know the folder which is there in my bucket is called nested, but we can change it at runtime. All right, and a local file. So this is just a local path of a sample data file, right? Now how can we use these sources? So once these sources are configured, we can go to any of the tool and I can click on this button. I can see all the sources which are configured, right? Now see this S3 bucket source. If I click test, it will check whether I have the credentials properly configured and I am able to reach this S3 bucket or not with the provided credentials, right? So it says that yeah, connection is successful, which means that S3 bucket configuration is working fine. Now I can click fetch, and that will present with a browser of the S3 folder in S3 for my account, and it is a fully featured file browser, so you can expand and see all the files inside. These are all dummy files, so don't copy them or don't download them, whatever, but these are all dummy files. Just kidding. So I can select any file from here and it will load up here, right? And then and any file I can see whatever the content is. This is a text file, it will not work with JSON. Okay, so let's see the other S3 bucket, which is dynamic, right? So as you can see, let's close this. Because there is a dynamic element here called nested, right? It is giving an edit option, so I can change this name here, and it will point to that folder which I know that it is existing, and that folder only will be browsed. So let's see that. So cancel. Let me check whether that is the correct folder. Yeah, this is the nested folder. Yes. Yeah, the folder name is nested. I close it and fetch, and see only the nested folder is expanded, right? See, and now I can change this to something else which is non-existing and save it, and if I test it, it is saying that not successful because this does not exist, right? Which makes sense. And so similarly HTTP URIs will also work. So Yeah, this is the sample data coming from placeholder JSON placeholder or a local file, right? So which works. Now, how is this useful? Think about in your development journey. I can vouch for my journey per se. Is that I use a lot of JSON data from different sources, and I really do not like to always log into AWS and see and go to that location and then fetch the data, download it, and then see that data in a IDE. Like, takes a lot of time. So this actually helps me a lot. I just configure the sources and it gives me a bird eye view, like whatever data I want to have a look, right? And this can be used in any tool. If you have JSON data, you can use the JSON tool. If you have YAML data, you can use the YAML tool, whatever have you, right? And there is another problem I used to face, is that if the data is really huge, right, it is very hard at times to make a sense out of the data. Let's load some data which was big. I think is this big? Yeah, this is a big data, but it's just a list, right? Okay. Now, okay. Now, to make a sense of a JSON data, I know that I can use JSON paths to do a reduce on the data and see and find some specific data out of this data, right? Now, if you are me, then you know that JSON paths are very cryptic. It is very hard to remember those syntaxes of JSON path, right? Now, what I have added is a JavaScript library that can help in creating the JSON path query. So the way it works is that you start with dollar and dot, and it gives you it is giving you the option what you may want to do, right? So 0 means that the zero. Okay, yeah, it's an array, right? So yeah, so this is the 0th element. Or if you want star, then in all the elements, right? And then okay, I want to see all the IDs. So see, all these auto suggestions are very useful here, because I do not need to remember any syntax or any cryptic syntaxes which and I don't need to know what the schema is automatically suggested to me. So I selecting ID, and yeah, so all these are IDs from the data, right? Now if I want to do some other functions like count them or do an unique or whatever you want, right? I'm not sure whether JSON path can be used to do that. I'm sure there are options, but those are really hard to me. So I have added some couple of helper functions like list, and those these functions are also auto suggested. So okay, list does not help that much, so let's do unique. Okay, it is apparently unique, giving unique results. Let's see a count. Yes, so 200 counts. And as you can see, these are all chainable, so you can add multiple functions and you can just reduce the data. Basically, all these functions are listed in here. So what are the functions that are supported and everything, you can have a look, and you can just click these panels and it will be copied whichever you want, and then you can paste it here or whatever you want. And all the custom functions are listed here, like whatever you can do, right? So that's basically what the auto suggestion and how it is working in this panel. I think I have been using this feature a lot, um, and yeah, it has definitely helped me a lot in making sense of data. Right, so that is a source tool and how we can use this tool in other tools. So this is text diff tool. Similarly, you can upload the file or you can take it from the source. So let's take it from the source. Okay, so JSON placeholder, let's do that. And so this is one side and this is another side. Let's take the same data and modify some like this. I'll just random modifications I'm doing, and then at the end let's do like 45, or let's change it to 13, right? All right, and compare. So as you can see, it is showing exactly where the change is, just like any other diff tool, but everything is happening in your browser, so you do not have to have any other tool in your machine basically. So it says that 2 added and 6 modified, and these are coupled scroll bar basically. So it is scrolling both sides. So it's saying that okay, there is a modification here. Yes, orange is modification and green is addition, right? Like this, you can see what is the difference between these two different sides. This tool has also helped me a lot. I do a lot of configurations like CI/CD pipeline files, right? And I compare two versions and I see. I know JIT can be used, but sometimes I just need to see it visually. What is the difference between two YAML scripts basically? Those scenarios I have been using this tool a lot. The next tool is regex tester. So this is pretty much simple. Think about regex pal or any other tool, regex 101. Those tools are very useful and I have been using them a lot. But after seeing those, I have taken some inspirations from those online tools and I have made this. So there are different samples you can use just to see how does it look basically. So you can click on this. These are samples basically, right? As you can see, this is the syntax, this is the regex expression, and this is the sample data, and these are the matches basically, right? And you can see the details on how we are matching and which part of this expression is matching what, right? And groups can also be seen here, right? Yeah, that's basically regex tool. Very simple but useful sometimes. Cron parsers. Similarly, you can have you can validate your cron expressions. I know it is hard for me to remember all those cron expressions. So having this in my arsenal and I can use them at any point of time is convenient for me. So these are samples or examples. You can just see. Like this expression will show exactly which day or which interval and what are the next 10 executions will look, which date and whatever, and you can obviously add your expression and verify whether they are fine or not. JWT, yes, load sample. You can put your JWT and decipher like what is going on. Better than going to jwt.io and copy your company specific details there, right? I'm sure that if you're working in an organization, that website is blocked, so you have to do or find some other way to decode JWT tokens. right? So why not have this? So this has been helpful, and because this is a source code, right, you can clone it and run it in your machine. So you do not need to install anything or whatever. It is running completely in my local host. No data is being shared whatsoever. So this is privacy wise, that is good. Scientific calculator, not much use I have been having on this, but I really like those online tools like GeoGebra and everything. I can do a small plots and I can see them, and I can add them. I can. This is kind of a tool for playing. I have not been using them, but I want to expand this tool to show some 3D graphs, or in the future, not now. Like this, this function plots like this. You get the idea, right? But you can put whatever expression you want, x or y basis, and it will be plot. It will be graphed, right? All right. What is left? Yes, step function. This is this is a new tool I have added a couple of days back. If you use AWS step functions, then this tool will be useful to you. Otherwise, not. So I faced a lot of challenge to understand state machine or the JSON document. If I have, like, it's a huge JSON document, right? And I have to go to AWS console and just to see what does it look and how the state machine is working, right? And that is also not helpful in the console. So what I have done is to add some more features on that. So let's see that. So examples, I'll see sample workflow. So this is a sample workflow file, and that is how it looks. Really simple. But what I can do extra here, I can walk on this workflow, right? Let's see in action. Walk. So it starts with here, and this is the information of this step, right? What it is doing. Next, obviously there is no other branches, so it went to this branch, this step, check inventory. This is the information. Next, right? Stop. So by having this feature, I have been using this feature a lot, actually. So by having this feature, I can make sense of a really complex workflow very easily, right? And let me show you a very complex example. I got it from ChatGPT. I got this example, and it was able to plot it, right? So see, this workflow is so complex, right? Now if you are new to the team and you just see this, you will not know what is going on, right? So let's walk this. Okay, so valid request starts the workflow. Okay, how does it look? What it is doing? Okay, it is doing some kind of lambda execution. All right, next. Okay, let's go to the pre-flight check. Okay, what it is doing? It's doing a parallel processing on these 3 branches. Okay, multiple paths available. I have to select a path. Okay, I have selected this path. I want to go this way, right? Okay, I did not select this one. So from here I have to select one path because there are 2 paths available, right? So I have to select this path, and then next it went to pre-flight check. So this is the data of this step. Next, it is saying that okay, 3 paths are available. Which way you want to browse, basically, because you are walking, you are trying to make sense of the workflow. So okay, let's go there. Okay, now check dependencies, right? So this is the data of we have. Next, it went to main processing because there is no other branch, so it is going to main processing. Next, it's asking like 3 paths available. Okay, which one you want to go? I will go this way. next. I think I have to select, yeah, next, 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 this, next, next, next. I'll select this, next, finally next, stop. So like this way um, I can visually walk this workflow and understand it better. At least for me it has been helpful. Hopefully if you use it and you find it useful, I'll be very happy, obviously. So you can add or paste your workflow file here and it will plot it, and if you want to make a sense out of it visually, you're welcome. All right, so this one I have been working. Let me show you what it is, what it does. So this is a workflow processor basically, and not step function. This is a real workflow processor. So JSON tool and whatever tool, these are different functions I can think of which are applied on a data. Think about N8N, right? How does it work? So you select a source, you get some data, and you add multiple functions step by step and to produce some result. So that is what I'm trying to do here. So what I will do, what my plan is to select a file, like any file I will select from, let's say from S3, this big file, 12 MB, right? Then I'll add next step. So let's do, this is JSON document, right? So let's do JSON format. Okay, is this JSON data or what is that? Let's see that first. It's a JSON L file, it's a JSON line file. Okay, so let's do JSON minify, and then I'll do JSON format, and then I'll do JSON stringify. Completely useless steps, but just to show how does it work basically, right? So I can run it. Right now, as you can see, the workflow has run, and it has taken I think I have to add the final time, how much time it took. So it is a 12 MB file. So once this file is loaded, it is 12.1 MB. If you want to see the data, you can click here. This is the data which is coming at this level. After you do minify on that, it became 12.9 MB, and it took 479 milliseconds to do that, right? It's a JSON L file, so every line is a complete JSON file, right? And then you do a format on that. What does it look? It looks like this. So 10.9 MB, it became 16 MB because you are adding so many new lines here, right? And finally you do a stringify, which adds a lot of quotes and makes it single line basically. So that is how it works basically. So you can add multiple functions, like custom functions. If you want to add, what do you want, what kind of custom functions? So I have a really big plan for this. Like I want to show this workflow in a way like a real workflow looks basically, and I want to make it just like N8N does, but for development, for data oriented work for developers, right? So this is a work in progress, just wanted to show, but that is what workflow processor is. So that is all I have for you guys. Hopefully if you like this, you may give a thumbs up or give a star in GitHub. I'll link the project in the video description. And thank you for your time. Have a good night.